Hello and welcome to another episode with the Toronto Dog Whisperer. Today I'm going to give you some quick tips for house training your puppy. I get asked these types of questions quite a lot. It's a very common question. You know, I'm not really a dog trainer, but I'm going to try and give you guys some quick tips just to get you going. So this is assuming that, come here. Oh my God. It took all that time to set it up. I need to get the camera angle down, like literally like a couple millimeters, but I can't because then it'll just fall over. And I literally hate my life right now. I literally hate my life. Let's try this again, take two. So I'm gonna give you some really quick tips on how to house train your puppy. And I'm going to assume that you have a puppy, because if you still need house training for your dog and they're grown, you missed something. There's no way that a dog should be relieving themselves indoors. And believe it or not, it's the one caveat that I have when I'm working with a dog that I'm actually going to take into my home. I won't take a dog that hasn't been house trained, simply because the house training aspect just literally takes up too much time, and it's the one thing that I can't do. I am not a dog trainer. I use training, but I'm not a dog trainer. Back to the tips. No, Quinn, don't go near that crate. I just set up the camera. Come over here. Tip number one, use a crate. So when you get a puppy, if they're 8 weeks old, they're gonna need to go out every 2 hours, every hour, that kind of thing. As a dog gets older, they get more capacity in their bladder, and they also learn to control their bladder. But when they're puppies and they're super young, they just don't have very big bladders, so they're gonna have to go all the time. The other thing is, if a dog is, or a puppy has been playing, you're gonna wanna take them out. Basically, you wanna take them out all the time. That is the real key to house training a dog, is taking them out all the time. Dogs prefer to relieve themselves in nature rather than indoors, but they will if they're not taught otherwise. Training is all about setting expectations. Use a crate. Crate is a great tool for a puppy. It'll help them to control their bladder a little bit more. They won't want to relieve them. They won't want to. Can you stop it for a second? I'm doing this video. So dogs won't want to relieve themselves where they sleep. A crate is a great tool for a lot of other things. It's not just for house training your puppy, but it's going to help you later on with separation anxiety or any other training that you want to do with them. So use a crate. Make sure it's the right size, not too big, because what they'll do is they will go, if they're in a really big crate, they will go to the other side of the crate, relieve themselves, and then go sleep on the other side. So don't do that. Don't use pee pads. Bad idea. Don't use your balcony. That's just gross. Your neighbors will not like you at all. If you live in a condo or an apartment building, plan for the elevator time, because it's going to take some time depending on what floor you live on and how many elevators there are. It's going to take you time to not just get down to the lobby, but to get them from the elevators out the front door to where they can relieve themselves. Okay? Grass is good. Places where other dogs pee or frequent is good. The scent will actually trigger your dog's instincts to relieve themselves. The scent of other dogs will trigger your puppy to relieve themselves where other dogs, and they will enjoy that. That's a good thing. Take them out proactively. If your dog hasn't gone, indoors or outdoors for a certain period of time, and it's been like an hour, and you're at home, take them out again. No. Guys, don't start. I'm filming this video. I'm trying to get this done. I want to get it done. Nope. Never work with dogs or children. Bad idea. So if they haven't gone outdoors in a while, if your dog hasn't relieved themselves, indoors or outdoors, okay, if your dog has not relieved themselves in the last hour and you're at home, take them outside. If you take them outside and they don't relieve themselves, it's still good. The general rule of thumb is to take them out at least every 2 hours. If they're super young, we're talking like 8 weeks old, or basically anything super young, you cannot take them out too often. You cannot, Quinn, did I mention never to work with dogs or kids in videos? You can never take your dog outside too often. As they get older, their bladders will get bigger and they will learn more bladder control. So here's the basic rudimentary essence of house training your dog. Take them outside. If they relieve themselves, go back inside, wait another 2 hours, take them back outside again. When you take them outside, when you take them outside, if they don't relieve themselves, take them back inside, put them in their crate for a half hour to an hour, and then take them back out again. Just repeat that process until they relieve themselves outside. The goal of house training your dog is to have them not just relieve themselves outdoors, but to enjoy it and to experience the sense of, not the sense of other dogs, other animals, the environment. But if they don't go, bring them back inside, put them in a crate for a half hour to an hour, then take them out again. This is a very repetitive process. It's very repetitive. If you know you're gonna get a puppy, plan for a vacation. If you can, take a week off, take 2 weeks off, take a month off if you can. If you can't do that, extend a long weekend. Do whatever you can to have as much time as possible so you can get the house training done as quickly as you can. For most dogs, the more consistent you are, the faster the house training will be. Here's what to do if your dog has an accident indoors. Oh, wait, one more trick. Unfortunately, I don't have a stuffed animal. I'm a guy, so I don't have stuffed animals, but let's say this pillow was your puppy.
Aww.
If you live in a condo or apartment building and you can't get outside very quickly, here's one tip that can help out quite a lot. So when puppies are small, they don't necessarily understand that once you leave your condo, that isn't outside. So when you, this is a very good demonstration, but basically use your imagination. Picture their head here and their legs kind of dangling. If you hold them kind of like that, but like horizontal with your arm, it'll help them to hold their bladder for a little bit, just enough time to get down the elevator, out the door, and outside. So that extra, minute, 2 minutes where you leave Quinn, my dogs listen. They don't listen. Not all the time. You're not my dog though, so that's okay. But you were my dog for a little while. No. Do not get excited. This happens every time they hear me just talking, whether it's on the phone or whatever. So hold your dog like this, with their legs kind of dangling, and try not to put too much pressure, obviously, on the bladder, and carry them down the elevator out the door like this. When I first got Mosley, I used to carry him like this. Everybody thought he was like a diva puppy where he got carried around, but people didn't understand that I was just what to do if your dog has an accident. I'm going to share what you should do and what you shouldn't do if your dog has an accident inside. What you should do, take them out immediately. Take them out immediately. If they have an accident, there's a good chance that they haven't fully relieved themselves. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But you want to get them outside as quickly as possible, because even if they're finishing the last few drops, let them do it outside. The more often dogs relieve themselves outdoors, the better. They actually prefer relieving themselves outdoors. And there's a possibility that maybe they go pee, but they also need to poo, so maybe they do their pee inside and then they do their poo outside. Kenzie, don't move. That's a possibility. So if your dog has an accident, take them outdoors right away. When you get back inside, clean up the mess extremely thoroughly. Make sure there's no remaining scent. Hopefully, if they do it on tile, you can use bleach. You can make sure it's really, you need to eliminate their odor from indoors as quickly as possible. If they make a mistake on a carpet, you're gonna have to clean your carpet. I'm one of those rare people who still has carpet because I like it and it's warm. And I can't hear the dogs walking around, it drives me nuts hearing the reset your clock. So if they have an accident, you're gonna have to reset the clock. The basic rule of thumb, there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of rules of thumbs. There's a lot of Quinn standing up in this video. Sit down. Sit down. Stay down. No, it's not playtime. He just got up from a nap, so he's really fidgety. So the basic rule of thumb is that you need to, your dog needs to make it 2 weeks straight. Stop it. Your dog needs to make it 2 weeks straight without having an accident indoors for you to feel confident that they're properly house trained. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but let's say you make it 10 days in a row without an accident, and then they have an accident, you got to reset that clock and start the whole 14 days all over again. What not to do? What not to do? Definitely don't do these things. If your dog has an accident, do not scold them. Do not get upset with them. And for the love of God, do not rub their noses in it. That is so 1955. That does not teach your dog anything. Do not rub their noses in it. Do not get upset. All you're gonna do is cause trauma and confuse them. So from a dog psychology point of view, Quinn, do not rub their noses in it. That is the worst thing that you could do. It's terrible. I mean, I'm not a fan of pee pads, but if you have to leave them for an extended period of time, that might be your only option. But consider this. Consider this. If you use pee pads, here's the irony. It will take you longer to house train your dog because you're gonna confuse them. Quinn. So that's it. So if you follow those simple guidelines, your dog will be house trained in no time. I would plan on a minimum of 3 to 6 weeks. If you're really consistent, if you're really diligent. Oh, one more tip. Get the whole household involved. If you have a family, and you guys get a dog, puppy, Mosley, sit down. Stay. Get everybody involved. It doesn't make any sense to let certain members of your family play and have fun with the puppy, and then 1 or 2 people have to do all the house training. That's no fun. Make sure everybody participates. Till next time. Quinn, stop it. Oh God, I hate this. That's it for now. Till next time, if you love your dog or your puppy, take them for a walk.